What's going on, Purple People podcast fans? Welcome to the show this week. I'm Kyle Smith. I am joined, as always, by Adam Carlson. What's up, dude?
Not too much. Sorry, we were scheduled for 8. We ran a little bit late, but we are here, and we love Vikings football, right?
That's right. I know Dorian Foley likes Vikings football.
I love Vikings football. Oh my God, it's an obsession. It's a craving. It's you see that face?
It's good.
I like it.
Hell yeah. Glad to have you other gentlemen with us. Kyle West is going to be out for the week, but maybe we'll get him back next week. So we'll keep you guys up to date. And, hopefully we'll get him back next week. But this week we're going to talk about the victory of the Lions. This is episode number 326 called Taming the Lions.
I swear every week we talk about how that episode number just looks insane. And
it does.
Looks crazy again. I don't know. It's still weird to think 326 weeks we've been doing this.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked that we've been around this long. But hey, it's kind of like, the stray dog. If you're going to feed me, I'm going to keep coming back. So as long as you guys will have me, and as long as you guys in the chat, which I have up here, as long as you guys keep coming, we're going to keep coming back. So thank you guys. Pretty good week though.
Before we start on the quick hits, let's talk about the Survival League, because that's pretty fun.
Let's do it.
Now, I'll say something kind of fun here that I know that you'll enjoy. 3 people got strikes because they didn't make picks. You always love that.
Come on, guys.
You don't win a prize by not picking a team. It's not how it works. But we do have YY, who is waiting on the result of the Dallas Cowboys game tonight. Otherwise, everybody else got it correct. And we have 17 players remaining after this week. That's assuming that even if the Cowboys lose, YY won't be eliminated. So that's good stuff right there. We have 1 player with no strikes, and you are looking at him if you are on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, then you just hear me talking, and it's me. So I'll say that. People with 1 strike, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that is if the Dallas Cowboys stay and hold on to win. And we got 8 people with 2 strikes. So make sure to get your picks in, because we've got those Vikings prizes ready to roll. And it should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, keep playing, keep having fun, keep listening, keep interacting, keep sharing. We love all that.
You guys can hear me typing away. I'm talking to the guys in the chat. We got some people in here. I just want to shout them out before we get started.
That chat's going nuts.
Oh, yeah. Michael Cambria, Eileen Adkins, Jake Z, and we have Ryan Denny's here. Eileen's actually listening on the way to work, so that's cool.
Nice.
First time catching the podcast live for Ryan Denny, so thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. Give you a shout out and say what's up. We'll keep talking throughout the podcast, but we're going to dive right in. We've got some quick hits before we talk about the Lions game. If you guys didn't watch the game, this is shocking news to you. Not really, but this is cool because I love seeing these younger guys, the no-name guys per se, get in there and get a chance to compete and then come in and play and contribute. Vikings promoted Chad Beebe to the main roster, and they released lineman Storm Norton. This was because Stephon Diggs was out with a rib injury, so we had to kind of heal up that wide receiver spot. And he caught some passes, so he didn't just get activated to do nothing. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was nice to see him out there running some routes. He showed some good hands. I think that he made a pretty good impression in his time out there.
He sure did. He caught 3 balls yesterday. I was really excited, and I know at the Viking bar here in El Paso, everybody was shouting his name and super pumped for him to catch some balls. So shout out to Chad Beebe.
I was in the stands yelling, "Come on, baby!"
Touche.
I think Mr. West might be a little disappointed that we released Storm Norton, though, just because he loved his name so much.
He does love that name.
I'm laughing in the chat. Michael Cambria is talking about Dalvin Cook. We'll talk about his return from that hamstring injury. Asking him what he said. I heard he was burning rubber. He sure was, man. That was a great long run that he had yesterday. We'll get into that in a little bit. We're talking about Afadi Anibo next. He returned to the Vikings practice squad. I always liked that guy. Felt like he was kind of an outcast, seeing him 96 questions, and just how he was kind of an oddball, but I always liked him. He had some interesting answers on there. So welcome back to the practice squad.
Always nice to have some familiar faces available.
North Carolina's offensive lineman Landon Turner signed to the practice squad after Cardinals stole Colby Gossett. So there's some more roster moves.
Yeah, Vikings draft pick Colby Gossett ended up being signed by the Arizona Cardinals, and so the Minnesota Vikings had to fill that spot and went out and grabbed themselves another offensive lineman.
Yeah, I know that makes a lot of people happy, including myself. We can sign 5 more offensive linemen. I wouldn't be upset about it.
Yeah, but it's kind of rough when you see like a player the Vikings drafted and they got on their practice squad they want to see develop, and then the team's just like, no, I think we're going to use them and just take them. Darn those Cardinals.
I wonder, is that in the notes here too? I don't see it anywhere. We can talk about him because the Cardinals released Sam Bradford. He played for us. He was on the roster last year. I don't know how Buffalo hasn't signed him yet.
It's number 9 on there.
It is? All right, we'll talk about it. I totally skipped over it. The Cardinals have waived former Vikings quarterback Sam Bradford. He had that great percentage completion year.
Yeah, set an NFL record, right?
Yeah, he sure did. It was 70%, somewhere around there. So that was cool. The Vikings lose out on a 3rd round compensatory selection in next year's draft, but I don't know how Sam Bradford, I guess it's a salary. It's probably the biggest issue. I don't know how it hasn't been picked up for, let's say, Buffalo. Nathan Peterman is still somehow starting over there. Every 9 passes, I think it was, is, according to his career right now, is an interception, which is absolutely god-awful. Yes. But, I mean, Sam Bradford, I don't know if he's healthy enough, and I don't know if I know they aren't going to start him over Josh Allen, but hey, there's an old guy that used to play for us out there, Sam Bradford. Shout out to your agent. I don't know how he's done it for so long.
I'll lay this out there. If the Jacksonville Jaguars gamble and pick up Sam Bradford for the season, I think that they could have a legitimate chance of turning the season around.
I'll agree with that. Because that's all they're missing, really, is somebody that can actually throw the ball and deliver the ball. And Sam Bradford, if you don't hit him below the knees, he can deliver that ball.
I'm just saying, it makes sense, but it didn't happen. I wish that some team would have taken on that financial burden and picked him up. But now there's part of me hoping that he will take that guaranteed money that he got in Arizona and think, it wouldn't be so bad to come back as a backup to Kirk Cousins. That would be okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
that's complete wishful thinking for me because he is still, I don't know, a fringe starting caliber quarterback.
I think he's way better than Trevor Siemian. I think we could all agree with that.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Oh my God, if Kirk Cousins goes down, I'm just gonna drink myself to oblivion because.
Don't do it.
Knock on wood there. I have to get into the chat though because there's a dad joke in here that I love, and there's a lot of funny stuff going on. Yang Yash says it's Sam Badford.
Oh,
yeah, he's been quite overpaid in his career. But Michael Cameron says thanks a lot, Sam. You cost us a draft pick. Ryan Denny says Peterman is one of my favorites to watch. Great drinking game. A shot every time he throws a pick. Yeah, hopefully you have a designated driver because that's a lot every week to have to
be responsible.
Moving right along, Kyle Rudolph and his wife visited kids at the Children's Hospital. They dressed up for their third annual Halloween huddle, and he was dressed as Tigger, and she was Winnie the Pooh. That was pretty cool to see this gargantuan tight end dressed up in a Tigger outfit. That was pretty funny.
But there was so much going on this week with the Halloween stuff that the Vikings were doing, as well as all the salute to service stuff. The Vikings gave away a ton of things, like those rhino things with side by sides. Gave some of those to some active military members, and gave trips to Washington D.C. and a bunch of cool stuff that happened at the game too. So the Vikings have just been going all out and giving back, which I love.
That's awesome. You guys know these are my favorite bullets for this team. These little quick hits that we get to do anytime they give back, and they do it almost every week, at least once a month while the season's going on, and then a lot of cool stuff in the off season. So not too surprising from Rudy. I think he's been nominated before for like their player of the year at least once.
Absolutely.
So yeah, he does all kinds of cool stuff like that. So shout out to Kyle Rudolph. And you have the best name in football. So that's cool. I got this news today, and me and Mr. Carlson are not happy about it. The Vikings and Bears match up in Week 11. This coming weekend, the Vikings have a bye for Week 10, which is always a blessing to have it right in the middle of the season. But the Vikings and Bears in Week 11 has been flexed to Sunday Night Football.
I don't like it.
I hate it.
Yay!
I hate it because I don't know when Khalil Mack's coming back. Hopefully not for that game. But the good news is we should get a lot of guys back that were on the verge of playing. I think hopefully we'll get Stephon Diggs back, maybe Andrew Sandejo. We might have the full squad back. But
hopefully Barr. I'd like to see Barr back.
Yeah, definitely have Anthony Barr back. He was turning it around at the midpoint of the quarter point of the season. He started playing a lot better, but I don't want to be in prime time again, man. We seem to poop the bed and roll around in it. So
what the NFL needs to understand is that Sunday afternoons, those are for football. Sunday nights are for zombies. This is the way it works. You don't combine the two. No, at the same time, that's bad. I got to write some more letters to the NFL and keep explaining this.
Just do what you do with the Vikings. Just tag the shit out of them on Twitter, and they'll hear you finally.
Then I'll get blocked again.
Yeah, you're getting blocked. I'm sorry. Yep, that happened with Adam. It was super funny.
It did.
Not for him, but you know. Daniil Hunter leads the NFL in sacks now with 11.5 from this game yesterday. He had 3.5 sacks yesterday against Detroit. The whole team had 10. And that was my favorite stat of the day. We had 10 sacks, and the Detroit Lions as a team had 9 points.
Franchise record 10 sacks.
Yes.
It's weird because after a little bit, you kind of expected a sack, which if you're watching a game, that's stupid because sacks don't happen that often. But when you're watching and you're like, yep, he's going to get right around him here. Or, you see Matt Stafford's feet just kind of like getting a little extra bouncy, like a little nervous, shaking around. It's like, oh, he's going down again. Good times, fun to watch that happen.
It's crazy too because I think Baltimore just had a game where they sacked Marcus Mariota 11 times, something like that, and then we followed this up a couple weeks later with a 10 sack game, and they said that defense was dead because the rules have changed a little bit. So apparently not. They figured it out. I know where the worst offensive lines are in the NFL now. So one of them being Detroit. I was kind of worried about this game too. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but they just beat New England and I think they beat the Packers too. I'm like, are we going to have to worry about Detroit again? Are they going to be a thorn in the side? But we finally got that win at US Bank because Adam was there. So
that's true.
That was awesome.
But Yahoo Sports says that they don't know if they can trust Detroit going forward because Detroit is struggling. Nothing to do with the fact that the Vikings had an amazing pass rush during that game. It's all just Detroit struggling.
Yeah, they can't give us any credit. That's fine though. I'd rather have that and just say, yeah, it was just because Detroit sucked this week because I don't want them to give us any praise. Then we'll just lose our minds and play like crap. Isn't that how it always goes?
It is.
Every time. All right, I digress. We won't do that again.
I called them out on Twitter about it. They didn't respond, but oh well.
They probably blocked you again.
Probably.
This is sad news. Former Vikings running back Bill Boom Boom Brown passed away at the age of 80 on Sunday morning. The 4-time Pro Bowler played 1 season in Chicago in 1961 and 13 seasons for the Vikings from 1962 to 1974, rushing for 5,838 yards, 52 touchdowns, and added 3,183 receiving yards and 23 more scores through the air. Man, this guy was fun to watch back in the day.
Oh, yeah. He was a monster.
Oh, condolences to his family. I'm glad that he got to spend the majority of his career. And it's still until 74. So there was some of those famous players back from the Purple People Eater days and getting coached up by Bud Grant at some point in his career. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. You got that 69 championship season in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Former Vikings defensive line coach Jack Patera has passed away at the age of 85 on Wednesday. He worked under Bud Grant, and he worked with legendary Purple People Eaters defense until earning a head coaching job with the Seahawks. So condolences to his family too, man. It's 2 sad bullets back to back. Oof.
Yeah, it's getting to be about that age though, that time when a lot of those players that were so big to the franchise back when the franchise first started up, and it's just players these days. As you've seen, a lot of professional athletes don't get to have those long-lasting lives, especially in like professional wrestling. You see so many people pass away early. So when you see these people that are passing away in their 80s, especially people that were big contributors to the team, like Bill Brown and like Jack Patera, It's nice to see that they got a chance to live a fuller life and contribute so much to a franchise that we all love so dearly.
Exactly.
We already hit number 9 earlier. Number 10, this is a good one. Adam Thielen was the Pro Football Focus NFC Offensive Player of the Month for October. Gee, I wonder why, because he was amazing. Yep, that's pretty awesome. We won't bang that in the ground too hard. He still leads the league in receiving yards as of now. I'm sure that's going to bump him down to 2 or 3 when we have the bye week this coming up weekend. But as it stands right now, I think he has 940 some odd yards to 45, I think, through 9 games. And
so you're saying he's got a chance at another 1,000-yard season then?
You know what?
You feel pretty good about it?
Don't quote me on this. I know this is a bold statement, but I think Adam Thielen's going to reach the 1,000-yard mark again, guys. I got a feeling about it, you know.
In the chat, Thomas Buge says that Boom Boom is donating his brain for CTE testing, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow. That's a good little nugget.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. This one's fun. Laquan Treadwell was fined $13,369. That's more than my automobile costs by throwing the NFL for throwing his helmet in Week 8 versus the Saints. We were all frustrated, Laquan. I get it. I almost feel bad after we rip him apart on here and be like, that was stupid. And it's like, oh, so you basically bought someone's car. That is absolutely crazy.
You could buy my vehicle almost 6 times with that, so I don't know.
That's insane. I'd still have a little bit left over to go do some stupid stuff.
Stupid stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta love stupid stuff every once in a while.
Take my debt off. I'm going to take that extra change and I'm going to go find something dumb to get into, you know. Treat yourself. It's my motto.
That's right.
Latavius Murray has been nominated for the Salute to Service Award by the Vikings and given an award by USAA. Love USAA. I have my insurance and my vehicle and all that stuff through them. They do a lot of stuff for service members, based it around service members. So that's super cool. We were just talking about Latavius. I think we were off the air last week. Maybe we were on. About how his website, whoever his PR team is amazing. I got an email from them today, something about we got another W and always doing promotions and stuff. But this is cool. This hits home for me personally. So shout out to the Tay Train stepping up again this year. Love that guy.
Oh, yes. I'm a big fan as well. I liked having Dalvin Cook back, but it's nice to know that you can rely on Latavius Murray when he's not good to go.
Oh, absolutely. He stepped up big time. He might be one of, if not the most crucial signing that we've had in the last couple of years. You can go down the list, but him stepping up has been a big deal for us. I really enjoy that guy. And he's not a turd off the field, so that helps a lot.
Absolutely.
Raider fans were very pissed when we snatched him up.
Yeah, they haven't been happy for a while.
Yeah, they fucking suck.
All right, so let's jump into our game ball and donkey, and let's just ask the entire group right here. Does anyone have anyone other than Danielle Hunter for their game ball?
Nope.
I have an honorary one.
Okay.
But Danielle Hunter does get my game ball. But I have was that Stephen Weatherly that it was a hit on LeGarrette Blount, and it was just like pow, like he just got. I think it was Stephen Weatherly. Well, if it wasn't Stephen Weatherly, because you guys are both silent and acting like you don't know what I'm talking about, LeGarrette Blount got the ball, and I think Weatherly was right there, just boom, smacked him up real nice, and then offered his hand, like, come on, helped him back up, like, yeah, you're all right, you'll get the next play, I got you this one. I don't know, that just kind of stood out to me. So I
don't know, I didn't get to watch the game on TV, so I didn't get to see a lot of everything that happened because I was up in the stands, so I don't know, but Pro Football Focus did say that Stephen Weatherly played the best game of his young career, finishing with an overall grade of 84.9 and a team-high run defense grade of 90.3. So that tells you pretty much everything you need to know about how good he was in stopping the run.
Yeah.
Sure did. I was going to say, I thought you were going to pick Stephen Weatherly because he had the sack that he got was just – it was incredible to me because he just reached around. I think he just pulled Matt Stafford down, kind of similar to what Jared Allen did a couple years ago. Remember when I think it was against Eli Manning where he had a defender and he wrapped around him completely and pulled him down. That was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that. It was like, how is this How do you let that happen? But they had been letting it happen to Matt Stafford all day. So
now I'll be honest. I thought he was going to go with Tom Johnson with his honorary. But I don't think we can go wrong either way.
He would have got it, but it was just more so. Well, I mean, joke's over. So yeah, like it just popped me. I was at work when I watched it, and I was just like, "Oh damn!" And it was just kind of like funny, like smack the hell out of him. They're like, "All right, come on, get up. You okay? I got you that time. Maybe you get the next one." It was just funny to me. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fine. I didn't remember that specific point, but you can never go wrong with those guys. It's a good choice.
Ollie Atkins says yes. That hit was Weatherly.
Nice.
Yeah. But the new Hunter gets my game ball like everybody else is unanimous because he balled the hell out.
We don't got a lot of game balls being given away in the chat right now, so we'll catch up with that a little bit later. We'll move on to our donkeys. And am I the only one that took Kirk Cousins here?
Nope, I did too. And was it because of the turnover?
It was because of the turnovers, yes.
I don't know what it is because he was playing stupid good earlier in the year, and he still has a QBR of 64.5. He's still has an overall rating of 93.9, which isn't bad. But this forcing it to Adam Thielen, knowing he's going to be double covered when Stephon Diggs isn't there, he's got to stop these turnovers because this is our ticket to the playoffs. And this is my little rant about Kirk Cousins. You have 7 games left. 4 of those 7 games are division games. We have to win out and get this division secured. And then we've got a tough game against Seattle on the road and then another tough game against the Pats on the road. We have to stop turning the ball over and giving it away because this offense is too good to be doing stupid stuff like that. I can't stand those errant throws, and I'm sure he hated it too. I didn't watch his post-game presser, but definitely one that he would have had back because
it was a bad decision. It was thrown into coverage. It was too tight of a window. There were too many defenders there. That was a play that I bet you when he went back to the huddle, he said, I wish I could have taken that back. But there was a decision that he conscientiously made that the Vikings have been making for a while now, and that is throwing the ball backward. Stop it.
Yeah, can we stop that? Can we make that?
Get that out of the playbook. Get it out of there.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. I was just going to say that. Just scrap that out the playbook, please.
we don't need that anymore. We've already had some close calls. We've had turnovers. It's just been bad. If it's not a big loss, it's I don't know. I love getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And even watching Cordero Patterson this week, a lot of Vikings fans were like, oh, I wish we still had him back to do gadget stuff. I'm like, do you see the gadget stuff we're doing right now, how that's ending up? Not good.
There's no gadget stuff with Cordero. He's a freaking running back now for the Patriots. Like, it's pretty simple. I said that to my friend, and I one of my best buddies in the entire world is a huge Pats fan. He's from Boston, and I was like, it's weird how Patterson looks competent because Bill Belichick. But he's catching balls too. Like, he's having a great year up there so far. So I'm happy for him. But yeah, none, these gadget plays. No, this is not Georgia Tech. I don't want to see the Wildcat. I don't want to see all this stupid crap. Just keep it somewhat traditional. And yes, I'm with you. Stop.
The Vikings just need to pound the beef. Oh God, I hope that doesn't catch on.
Oh my God.
That was something that Adam sent in the chat today. I guess it was, what was it? The Vikings media handle put that out, the Twitter handle.
Well, Mike Zimmer said that was going to be their key to victory in this game is, taking those big people and just moving them back on the line. And so now the team has just embraced it. And even when Kirk Cousins ran for his first down, they said, nice job pounding the beef.
Okay, you guys got to know that's going to be turned sexual in like 3
Absolutely.
Seconds. Stop.
Yeah.
So I still laugh every time I hear it because I am a 11-year-old boy at heart and everything is a dirty joke.
Yeah, Michael Taylor is in the chat. He said Cousins gets the donkey again. He's sick of these fumbles. That's been my knock on him for this entire year. Like, I can't. There's no real way to say it. And I get it. Like, it's kind of like Thielen's last week. If you're running or you're trying to take off, it's really hard to predict. There's a way that you can practice holding the ball like a loaf of bread. Okay, cool. Maybe this is easier not to fumble this way, but it's starting to be an issue.
But let's be honest, that shouldn't have been a fumble because this is a play that they should have down. Other teams can run that swing pass all the time. And yeah, usually it's when the receiver is either even or just a touch ahead of the quarterback. But this is something the team needs to work on in a big way. They just gotta stop with this. Stop it.
There's nothing more frustrating than when you cause yourself to lose or you make those errors, because it's super easy to take a game away when people give you the ball. I mean, this game, we could have played a little better on offense. I'm glad the running game got back. I'm glad Dalvin Cook was back. But when people give you a freebie, I mean, yeah, your percentage of winning is going to go up. But I can't take this, hey, here's a gift. Like, it's hard enough. We got beat by the Bills, like destroyed by the Bills because of football. You can't do that, especially down the line coming into December and then the playoffs. So that's just not – you're just not going to win that way. So hopefully this can get figured out. I hope it's a point of emphasis from the coaches.
Was Cousins your donkey too, Dorian?
Yes.
All right, because I got an honorary donkey, and it's Pat Elflein, who got absolutely devoured by snacks all game long.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I forgot that he got traded there until you said that.
He was getting pushed around in a way that I have not seen offensive linemen abused in a while. I mean, he didn't end up on the ground all the time like Charlie Johnson, but he was getting pushed around side to side. And
Charlie Johnson.
I swear, if you watch every highlight play of a big run for the Vikings, Charlie Johnson's laying on the ground by the time the running back gets to him. I swear, just go back, watch the film. It's there. Let's see. Sheer Zero says the entire offense gets my donkey. And to be honest, considering the offensive output from this game, the team is just insanely lucky that the defense came to play today.
Eileen Atkins says, at least Stafford gave it back with a backwards pass. Thank you. Thank you for that.
That's true.
All right, I have to go on a little bit of a tangent here because I keep hearing it and it keeps pissing me off because it's coming from I forget who liked it. A couple people did, but I said it on I think it was NFL Network or something. But it's James Jones, I believe. Wasn't he a wide receiver? He's not there anymore, but he was with Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Said something very fucking stupid about Adam Thielen. He's like, I'm not putting Adam Thielen in the top 5 conversation for receivers, which is absurd. If you don't want to say he's number 1, I get it. DeAndre Hopkins, Julio, AB. I'm putting him over OBJ just because OBJ is kind of a drama queen. And I think Adam Thielen puts out better effort. I know he's not as talented, but I digress. James Jones said something along the lines of, well, he's playing against their second corner because the number 1's covering Diggs. Well, I'm sorry, James Jones. I think we should call all the defensive coordinators for the rest of the time that we have and say, Adam Thielen's our number 1. Will your number 1 corner cover him, please? That's not his job.
And who designated Diggs as number 1? When did this happen?
He said against the Saints. He was talking about the Saints corners who were going up against him, which is weird because they alternated. I know Williams was on him. I know Eli Apple was on they were rotating around. But this is the stupid thing of, oh, well, he's only going up against number 2s. That's why he's got good numbers. Did you watch football last year at all?
I think they better check those hoodies he used to wear during games because I think something's soaked in there and it's not right.
Well, I get really irritated about that because, yes, we saw the presence of Stephon Diggs not being there yesterday in the passing game. It was apparent. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking. Laquan Treadwell led with receiving yards, and it was 37. All right, we had low passing numbers. Stephon Diggs in there made an impact, but you can't say stupid stuff like that. I saw that. I had to rant about it a little bit because I said online, it was like, these guys might be killer athletes and hella talented, but that doesn't mean they're not stupid.
Right.
I can't really go against that. I've never played, but I can tell you what I'm watching and why to a certain degree. But I just want to get you guys fired up in the chat. What do you think about that?
Does he still play?
What's that? No. He's a commentator now. I think that's
commentator. Exactly. What the fuck have you done? Commentator. What the fuck have you done?
I think he won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, so that's like that's escape.
Didn't he get like a pretty good amount of money from the Raiders to get cut and brought back to Green Bay for like a year?
Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah. Ooh, okay, yeah. I'm good. I'm good now because I'm hot now. I'm hot now.
See? Ryan Denny said, didn't they both break 100 versus the Saints? They did.
Yeah, indeed they did.
Jake Z says his honorary game ball goes to Dalvin Cook. We'll talk about him in just a second. I want to ask everybody that on not the chat. Well, you guys can come into the chat if you want, but is the play of the game Danielle Hunter scoring a touchdown? Yes or no? Because that's mine. That's absolutely incredible.
Well, I suppose you pick that or one of the 10 sacks. I mean,
just pick a sack. Just go through the game. You can find one.
Because I got to admit that every time there was a sack, I got loud and got rowdy, but nothing got me on my feet like that fumble recovery that Daniil scooped up.
It's one of those like split-second things. Same thing with the miracle that happened. You're like, oh my God, did he catch that? Is he in bounds? It happened. I was like, oh my God, that's a live ball. I don't hear whistles. Oh my God, that's a live ball. And then everybody's just losing their mind while they're watching it. That was pretty sweet.
Although I will say one of the coolest moments from the game was that double dragon double kick that Daniil Hunter and Everson Griffin went up and did. I mean, that was awesome.
I love how he got the call from Deion Sanders. He's like, you couldn't have high stepped, you couldn't have did something. He's like, I wanted to like fall forward or do a flip, but I didn't want to get hurt. And I was out of breath because I had to go play special teams the next go around. So I was kind of out of breath. I'm like, dude, you're chiseled like a freaking movie star. How are you out of breath? That's pretty funny.
It really is. But yeah, there were so many great moments from the defense on this game. The offense was disappointing. As in the chat, one of the most disappointing moments was when it looked like Aldrick Robinson had that big catch.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, yeah.
And the crowd was standing up. They were all ready to just explode. And it was like, oh.
Yeah, that would have been a crucial conversion. I think that was on third down. Ah, man, he's been pretty good for us this year. A nice little pickup.
I think the entire receiving core has done a great job, and they've got some talented guys that are waiting for some opportunities as well. Even Laquan Treadwell's been coming along a bit, catching both his targets in this game. And I know that he's a popular person to pick on these days because he was a first-round pick, but he's contributing more this year than he has any other year. And I'm still hoping that they can get him to stick around on a nice, cheap deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if it's cheap, yeah, whatever. I'm not even going to get on that. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. No, but all joking, all kidding aside, yes, he's been contributing. He's been doing his thing. Like you said, Adam, this is most of the production that he's had, you know. So I'm all in if, come the off season, and if we can get him if he'll take a pay cut or whatever the case, where something is reasonable, then yeah, by all means, I'm open. I have open arms with it for him to come back.
Dorian, when's your birthday?
My birthday
Don't tell him you're going to get a jersey.
I could always get you a Laquan jersey on the cheap for your birthday, sir.
Yeah, you can. I was on eBay earlier, actually. I think somebody was selling theirs for like $9 or something.
That reminds me of
that guy still has his autographed one on the marketplace here for $30. Still not sold.
That is my bold prediction of the year. That thing goes into 2019 unscathed. That's a surefire bet. You better lower the price on that guy. Oh man, let's break this game down, guys. We won this game 24-9. The Lions did not score a touchdown. They only had 3 field goals. Quarterback play was pretty atrocious from Matt Stafford. No touchdowns, no picks. 25-36, QBR 25.9, 83 rating. He got sacked 10 times. He lost 56 yards. Jesus Christ. I feel bad for him. And let me just say this too. I'm not this big chiseled Daniil Hunter model looking figure, but I try to manage and be somewhat in shape because I'm my job and whatnot. But didn't Matt Stafford come into the league looking a little bit like biscuits, had a little bit of chub to him? Has he not slendered out the last couple of years? He looks skinny.
I don't know. I haven't checked him out over the years, really.
I looked at him yesterday. I was like, oh my God, eat a sandwich, Matt Stafford. What happened to you? I think I'm going to call him biscuits from now on.
I mean, it's not as bad as like when, remember when Colin Kaepernick came in the league, he was a little thicker, and then he went to the vegan diet, and he just kind of like thinned down to nothing.
Power and body mass. Yeah. He was in the body issue at one point, and then he's way too skinny. I don't know. Matt Stafford, are you okay? I know you're not okay after yesterday, but like in general, are you okay? Let us know, man. We're here for you. Kirk Cousins, 18 of 22. That's insane. 18 of 22 and four incompletions. One of those was a stupid pick. Oh, God. Only 164 yards, 1 sack, lost for 9 yards. He had a 64.5 QBR, 93.9 rating. Not his best game with us, but he's efficient.
But we do have to say that I felt, but in watching this game, I don't know if it looked the same on TV, but the offensive line was doing a better job protecting him. They actually gave him a little bit of time.
Yeah.
which was pretty impressive.
Minus Pat Elfline, yes.
True. I got to give this guy some love because I've been harassing him the last couple of weeks. Pro Football Focus says that Mike Remmers had an overall grade of 75.5 and a run blocking grade of 77.1, each a personal best for him since moving inside to guard. So maybe he's listening to my criticism and working hard. I don't know. That's what I'm going to like to think. I'm going to pretend that's the case.
That's it.
Yeah, you kind of gave him the business the last couple of weeks.
Hey, I got no problem admitting when I'm wrong or something's changing a little bit, and I like that Mike Remmers is putting forth a good performance the last couple of weeks, at least improving his game. So keep it going, man. Keep it going.
I have a question for Dorian based off the chat. Are you ready?
I guess so.
All right, so you only get to choose from the following. You get a jersey of Laquan Treadwell, Christian Ponder, Chris Cook, or TJ Clemmings. Which one are you rocking?
Get the fuck out of here.
Michael Cambria says get him a TJ Clemmings jersey.
I've still got a Ponder, man.
Jake says I own the Troy Williamson jersey. I'm sorry, Jake. You win that one.
Okay,
Christian Ponder went to the playoffs at one point. That would probably God, I can't say that I would wear. I'm wearing a Laquan Treadwell jersey, guys. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, yes. I will out of those, I will get a Laquan Treadwell jersey.
All right, it's settled.
And you can't cover up the back and put Culpepper on there.
No, I have two of those actually, so I'm good. I have a home and away Culpepper, so I'm good.
Do you ever get asked when you're wearing the 11 if it's a Laquan Treadwell jersey?
No, not at all.
Okay, just checking. Oh, nice Laquan throwback.
Dear God. Thank you for that material. I appreciate you guys.
Oh, my God.
In the chat. Going down the list again, we had 128 rushing yards. Dalvin Cook broke out a 70-yard. Oh, it was so beautiful. I wanted him to score a touchdown. 10 carries for 89 yards. His longest was 70. Average 8.9 because of that long run. Only 10 carries, which was pretty cool.
Well, they wanted to have him on a 20 snap count.
That's right.
Somewhere around there. And let's be honest, he showed absolutely no hesitation when it came to acceleration or speed on that play.
We were talking about this in the chat, which was really funny because I heard this through the grapevine. He had the fastest recorded run of any player this season thus far. And when he was told about that, apparently he was like, faster than Kareem? Like, Kareem Hunt's pretty fast, guys. But yeah, on that play, I guess he got up to 20 point whatever miles per hour, which was insane. The fact that he got ran down was even more crazy. But, yeah, 10 carries, 89 yards. Latavius Murray, 10 carries, also for 31, and a touchdown. Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins both rushed for 1 for 5, 2 for 3. Receiving, Laquan Treadwell, Dorian's favorite player, 2 for 2 for 37. Long 22-yard catch, which was nice. Kyle Rudolph had 2 for 28. Thielen, 4 for 22. Chad Beebe, 3 for 3 and 21 yards. Good for you.
Yeah.
Look at all these catches, man. 2 for 3. Aldrick Robinson. Dalvin Cook was 4 for 4. And Latavius Murray was 1 for 1. Like we said earlier, only 164 yards in the air. But, hey, it's a lot of catches. Take that.
It really is. And when you look at the accuracy outside of that forced throw that got intercepted, you can't really be too upset with the production that Kirk Cousins had. He didn't throw a lot of balls that were uncatchable. He didn't have to throw a lot of balls away because of pressure. As a whole, he stood in there, he delivered, and for the most part, did a fantastic job getting rid of the football, even though the stats aren't going to show him with that massive yardage number like when he was throwing the ball 56 times a game.
Yeah, we always say that too. If you're throwing the ball 50 to 60 times a game, it's probably because you're losing and trying to make up for it. So, hey, or you tried the run game the entire first quarter and nothing happens, and you're like, well, guess we're going to figure it out through the air. So,
well, during this game, the Vikings threw the ball 22 times and ran the ball 23, and that's more the kind of balance that you want.
Yeah.
Man, I'm looking at that too. That's funny. So how often does that happen within the last 2 years, minus the teams that are absolute trash? They just don't have anything going for them. They run the ball more than they throw them. That's crazy. I'll take it, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook back. Yeah, we said we were going to talk about him later. Knock on wood, and he has a bye week to stay healthy and recover even longer now. hey, for all these people that were saying, where's Cook, where's Cook? I'm sure everybody was up on their feet screaming when he busts out that huge run, and I'm glad to see him back. Yes, I wanted to play more games just like everyone else, but I'm just glad he's back, and I'm glad that he had a good showing, because if he would have came in this game and had 10 carries for 22 yards and a fumble, everybody would be out for his head.
Well, do you want the negative side of that coin?
Let's hear it.
All right, so outside of the one carry that went for 70 yards, he gained 19 yards on 9 carries, which is far from impressive. Then you got Latavius Murray, who averaged just over 3 yards a carry. Outside of that one big run, the Vikings did struggle big time to run the ball against Detroit. But as we've seen, even with Adrian Peterson, if you have enough carries, eventually you can break something and make things happen. And it only took 10 for Dalvin Cook to get his big play. So you can't complain too much there. But you would like to see a little more consistency. You'd like to see that yards per carry average outside of the big plays up closer to 4 or 4.2. But for now, you can't nitpick too much in a game that ended up 24-9, you know.
Here's my thing as a fan, and you guys correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. You guys obviously on the show, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know he likes to run up the middle, but I think that's more Latavius' style. I want to see Dalvin Cook go out to the right and the left more. He's very elusive. I know he's patient, and he can catch the ball out there. I don't like seeing him go up the middle as much. I know he said that's his favorite, just go downhill, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like he's not really built for that, and I think he succeeds better if he doesn't do that as much.
No, you can just throw those backward sweeps for that.
No, I agree with you though, Kyle. I really just don't feel. I don't know if we're going to talk about this later on with Dalvin, but I just don't feel that he's that primary running back. You know, I feel like this is where he's going to be. He's going to be like another Jerick McKinnon. Not knocking Jerick McKinnon. Obviously, Jerick McKinnon contributed and did his thing while he was with us. I don't know if Viking fans are expecting Dalvin to be like basically the next AP.
He's not Todd Gurley.
You know what I compare it to, guys? We have the poor man's version of Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. Dalvin being Kamara, Mark Ingram and Latavius Murray for their styles. I'm not saying that they're anywhere near those guys. Maybe one's better than the other on each team, but that's what I look at it as. Who out there has a tandem sissing or running back by committee? You know, like Adam said, not every team's going to have a Gurley or a Bell or a David Johnson. But when you're doing this two-headed monster thing, one's better at one thing than the other. Like, I just think Latavius is built for that. But, I mean, I'm just speaking the obvious here.
I have no problem with a split share with running backs. And the way the NFL is now, you can save a lot of wear and tear on a player by doing it that way too. I don't know. I just – the more I look at Dalvin Cook – the more I get impressed with his speed and his athleticism. But I want to see him on the field more often. I want to see him out there playing football. And if that means playing a little safe by having someone like Latavius Murray coming in and taking extra steps, there's no problem with that.
I just love having him back for the option. I think that's my favorite thing about having him back is the option, because their contrasting styles means, you know, if we do what you said, which is a great thing to say, like, hey, you know, we're going to have you on a limited snap count, and then we can bring you in. He's going to have a fresh set of legs for the most part for the rest of the game. And then I think he's more susceptible to those kind of plays that he has, maybe one per game, hopefully more than that. But
Lee Sattler in the chat makes a good point. He says, let's wait until the line is improved before doubting Cook's talent. I don't think we're doubting Cook's talent by any means.
Not at
He's
all.
an explosive player. You put the ball in his hands. He has the speed and athleticism to make big plays. The problem is that he's not a workhorse running back.
right.
That's what we're getting at is we don't want him out there for all 3 downs. You want someone in there that can take a spell, who can excel in pass blocking on 3rd down, but yet still make plays. Keep his legs fresh, take some playing years off of him so that he can stay in the league for more years and contribute more in the long run. And obviously to stay healthy. We want Dalvin Cook on the field. We want him contributing, showing off what he can do on the field. I know that he has that potential. We've seen him make some big plays. I want to see some more of him realizing that. But yes, once the Vikings get their offensive line situation figured out, or they can bring in more talent through the draft, probably next year is what I'm assuming. I'm assuming we're going to see some offensive linemen early in the draft next year.
They better.
But after that, we can see a little bit more of what to expect from the Vikings. And I do want to say that right now, I do believe that Brian O'Neill is taking that next step and being a future key point in this offensive line. I don't know who else is going to be shifted around to where or what's going to happen. But I do expect the Vikings to address the run blocking for sure.
Yeah. Good point, man. I got nothing else to jump on that. That's very well said. Stupid update for Monday Night Football. Tennessee at Dallas, 14-14, 12:39 in the third. I almost fell asleep saying that. All right, Minnesota fumbles. Let's talk about the fumbles. Kirk Cousins had a fumble, and he lost it. Danielle Hunter recovered one for a 37-yard touchdown. Let's just break this down. Let's go into the defense. I'm going to read you the stat line for some key players. Total tackles of the day, Eric Kendricks and Danielle Hunter tied for 9 total with 6 solo each. Here's where Danielle Hunter ran away with the game. 3.5 sacks.
4 quarterback hits, yeah.
3.5 tackles for loss, 4 quarterbacks hits, and a touchdown. What? What did I just read? That's incredible.
He had a freakish performance of a game.
As good of a day as you can ask for a defensive end, and he was, like I said, the 3 tackles for loss, whether it be sacking the quarterback or stopping the run, he was everywhere. So hell of a day from him. Going down the line, Tom Johnson had a great day. 5 tackles, 4 solo, 2.5 sacks, 3.5 tackles for loss, and he also had 4 quarterback hits.
It's crazy to think that he could have those 2.5 sacks and then have an additional tackle for the loss. That's meaning that he got past the offensive line and he knew enough to make the play, not to keep chasing the quarterback and to get that running back. For a defensive lineman, you have to know, you have to beat the player in front of you. Then you have to know where the ball is, and you got to anticipate the move to go and get them. And Tom Johnson does that so well. He's a smart player.
Seattle, because him and Sheldon Richardson coming over have paid awesome dividends this year. Sheldon Richardson, 3 for 1, half a sack, half a tackle for a lost quarterback hit. And our boy Everson Griffin, 4 tackles, 3 by himself, a sack and a half, and 1.5 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback hits. We're knocking some of the rust off. Welcome back, Everson. All right, welcome back.
Am I one of the only people that really love watching when Mackenzie Alexander, like he goes to the fake, like he's going to blitz, then he backs off, and the quarterback's like, well, maybe he's dropping back, and then zoom, he is right in there.
It reminds me that, don't take this to the head, Mackenzie, because I know you're listening to every podcast we have, but it reminds me of Antoine Winfield a little bit. Remember how speedy he was coming in? Yeah. Oh, man, those corner blitzes are my favorite, especially when you can disguise them really well, too. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's been doing a fantastic job of that. That's why he's been able to get a couple sacks on the year using that speed, athleticism, and the ability to make it look like, okay, I'm gonna go. No, yeah, I am. I love that so much.
That's awesome.
Wow. In the chat, breaking news from Jake Z. By the way, breaking news, former Vikings defensive tackle Sharif Floyd is suing Dr. Andrews for $180 million for a botched surgery.
And you know what? Because of his career and because of the money he might have been able to make, I don't think that's that unreasonable.
That's insane. Wow. He said, Colleen Atkins goes, good for Floyd. That quack destroyed his career. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty dangerous what happened with that surgery. So.
Well, he is one of the most prominent surgeons in the NFL. He's not known for making a lot of mistakes, but when you do have to be accountable for him. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch that unfold. But, wow, to think of what Sharif Floyd could have been.
Yeah, he was definitely on the rise, trending upward, as they say, all the cool kids. We caught no interceptions. We did kick off. Let's see. Brandon Zylstra, kick return, 1 for 15. Marcus Sherrill's 1 for 24 on the punt returns. Dan the Man Bailey, 1 for 1 on the field goals and 3 for 3 on extra points. My man. And Matt Weil, or is it Matt? It's Matt Weil, not Will. Matt Weil, 4 punts, 163 yards, 40.8 average, longest of 45. So there are your stats from the 24-9 win. We finally beat Detroit after 3 years in Minnesota. Thank God.
It had to happen eventually. Maybe I was just playing the odds when I went to this game. It's like, okay, they lost the last 2. I'll go to this one. They can't lose this one too, right? That had to have been what I was thinking, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's really good too because we still have the whole division minus the game yesterday. So we still have the Bears to face in Minnesota, and later on we still have that rematch with the Packers because we tied in week 2. So this is pretty cool. I'm really excited.
Yeah, there's still 4 divisional matchups left.
Very excited about that.
And if they can win those games, they could be well on their way to winning the division.
Speaking of, and I know Adam hates this because we're only halfway through the season, but the playoff picture is updated, and we are the number 6 seed. If the playoffs started this weekend, we would go to Chicago. The Panthers would go to Washington, and the Rams are still the number 1 seed, I believe, because they have one more win than the Saints. I think they already have their bye week. Not sure. But the Rams and the Saints. It's going to be hard to beat either one of those teams. They're phenomenal. If you guys didn't hear about it, that was a hell of a game. The Rams went to New Orleans, and New Orleans pretty handily won that game. It was pretty bad.
I will be honest. I was hoping that the Rams were going to win that game so that there was more separation as far as the top and the middle of the league. Bring the Saints down a little bit so that they could be in the contention for the other spots. But, you know, what can you do? The Vikings have to take the wins into their own hands. They got to take the schedule that's before them and just beat these teams. I know there are some really tough games coming up. The Bears are going to be far from a pushover. A rematch with the Packers is never an easy win. You've got the Patriots coming up, which that's always a scary game. There's some tough games coming up on the schedule.
Absolutely. Especially the Bears not being a pushover anymore. Man, that defense is scary. Yeah, you're totally right. I want to give this perspective too because I know we're all happy after a win. I was super bummed after last week's Sunday night loss against the Saints, just because you kind of felt like we gave them the game a little bit, not taking anything away from them. They have been playing lights out for 7 weeks in a row now. But our losses, minus that stupid Bills loss, which we won't talk about anymore, our only losses minus the Bills is to the Rams and to the Saints. It's not like we're losing to scrub teams every week and have to answer for it. We do have a weird tie that nobody ever wants to have, but what can you do? It's not a loss, so that's the way I look at it. But if we can figure it out, like I mentioned earlier in the show, with the division games coming up, we're still in the thick of things. So just keep this winning, this winning and this momentum going. That'd be great, and we get people back and get people healthy. So I like where we're at right now.
Is it weird that next week we're not going to have a game to talk about? I don't like that so much.
My least favorite time. That or after the playoffs when you lose and you're just like, well, this sucks. Now the season's over. But,
bye weeks are weird as a Vikings fan because you can flip through the other channels and the other football games are on. You're like, yeah, this is football, but it's not Vikings football.
Exactly. Not the same.
I like it. All right. Awesome.
But let's touch on one other piece of former Vikings news.
Come on, you know where you're going with this.
Crown Jewel, new WWE reigning, defending, Universal Champion was crowned. Brock Lesnar, once again, the champ. And if you are a regular listener to this and a fan of wrestling, you will know that did we all predict that Lesnar was going to get it back?
Yes, we did. Even Kyle didn't. Kyle doesn't even watch wrestling like that, but Kyle even chimed in and said, yeah. He nodded his head and he agreed.
We have the pulse on professional wrestling, man. We know this stuff. And they know that belts just belong on former Vikings players. That's all. They know this.
Oh, hey, Adam, real quick. Did you by chance see Triple H's picture that he had posted of himself?
No.
His torn pec. Oh man, okay, I gotta share that with you guys in the group. Oh my god, that thing bruised up something horrible. Somebody made not a meme, but just like a joke. In essence, like, oh, Triple H was getting ready for Batista, making a Guardian of the Galaxy reference, and like how the bruise looked all purple, called him.
Oh,
no, it was just hilarious,
man.
But yeah, old people, they shouldn't wrestle anymore.
That's all I've got for this week. What else do you guys have?
That's all I've got. Nothing.
No quote of the week, no bold statements, no nothings?
No, we're definitely missing Kyle on that end. We'll try to get some more up there.
No social media question of the week?
Let's check the Facebook page, and you guys did that recently.
I'll be doing my Vikings player rankings over on the Viking Age. Doing them tonight. They'll be up in the morning, so you can take a look at where I believe the best 10 Vikings players are heading into the bye week. I don't know if now I'm kind of confused because during the bye week, I don't think I'm going to have those change too much. I'll just have to copy paste, change the numbers. It's all good, right?
I got it. Here's my bold statement. All right. I think that Adam Thielen is probably going to make your list. All right.
He's been number one for the past 3 or 4 weeks, so he's got a chance of staying there.
Ooh, fun fact. Did you know that Adam Thielen went to he lived in Minnesota?
Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
Yeah.
$500 scholarship.
My goodness.
So I just thought I'd like shit.
Here we go, guys. This is great because I don't think we mentioned it last week because we started on Monday last week in the spirit of Halloween. It was who were the Vikings 3 amigos because we decided.
Yeah, you did do that social media question
last week. We didn't have a lot of responses, so we're going to name all of them. Oh my God. Adder Noir left a picture comment that is absolutely incredible. The 3 Skull Migos, and it's Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs with the photo that we use, but he cropped the players' faces on there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing. So shout out to Adder. Thank you so much. Scott Conrad said Diggs, Thielen, and Rudolph. Adam Carlson, our own, says Childress, Frazier, and Les Steckel. Thomas Bew said current is Thielen, Diggs, and Cousins, but all time is Chris Carter, Randy Moss, and Reed. That's a good nice little group.
Oh, 3D? Okay.
Okay, this picture is absolutely – oh, my God, this is amazing. All right, we're putting this – can we put this on? I'm going to change it anyways because I'm part of the show and I'm going to do it. Save this image. This is going up as our background now. That's fantastic.
All right.
That's a good Photoshop too. Man, I have to ask, did you steal that from somewhere? There you go. Social media question of the week. We'll try to think of something good for the bye and get you guys involved with that again. But thank you guys for commenting, and this picture is awesome.
We do have a bold statement in the chat from Arlene Adkins who says that Danny Isadora will be a starting guard for the Vikings for years to come.
Ooh.
I hope that's true.
I like it. God, I hope that is true myself.
Yeah. And that is quite bold at the same time. But, yeah, I think we're all in agreement with that one, though.
We're all hopeful. Fingers crossed. So that's all I have for this week. I think that you guys have everything covered that you were going to go for, too, right?
That's it.
All right. I do want to thank everyone for tuning in to the chat. Always great to have you guys here live to discuss it with us. Also, as well, we enjoy you guys who check us out later on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, PodOMatic, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to us. We're all over the place. I also love that you guys check out the Viking Age, whether you download the app or go to the website. We've always got some cool Vikings content over there. In fact, I just did my Vikings MVPs on offense and defense, which I'm guessing if you probably heard the game balls and the donkeys that you probably have a pretty good feel of how that went. But, you know, you can still read other things about that. It's good stuff there, as well as my review from the game, which I might be a little different since I didn't have to listen to Spielman and company with their commentary during the broadcast. Was it as brutal as previous weeks?
It's just super Caucasian and boring. I don't know how else to say it.
Super Caucasian.
It is. Like, you know how people call Kirk Captain Kirk? I call him Captain Caucasian for the dad dance. Just how, like, hey there, Frank, put her there, pal. Like, it's just a lot of dry and cheesy.
How the hell are you, Chief?
I forget who was talking
Put her there.
Yeah, exactly. I forget who Chris Spielman was talking about with the spin move, but he demonstrated the spin move in one of the classic Viking defenders.
Oh, no.
And yeah. So if that gives you any indication, it was still pretty white.
Kyle, it was horrible. He was like, oh, I think he's talking about, he must be the best spin move player ever to play the game of football. Like, what the, like, dude. Like, that was his exact commentary, Adam. Like, yeah.
Oh, see, now I kind of want to go back and listen to the game again just to hear this stuff.
He demonstrated like 3 or 4 times and then just like completely like I am right now, just bobbled his words, just like he was the best spin move guy in the league. Yeah.
Now, I do want to finish up by plugging Undead Walking, which I don't know if you heard a lot of the big news, but this weekend, the Sunday episode was a big one. The show said farewell to 3 major characters during that episode, and they made the big announcement that AMC is going to be making some movies based on The Walking Dead. So head on over to Undead Walking to learn a little bit more about all that. Click on some articles and make me a little bit of money if you would, please. I'd appreciate that. You can check out Kyle's band. He's got a band.
I do have a band.
Actually, I think you still got a band. You never know, that stuff changes.
I do. Kyle West just hit us in the chat. He goes, "Which one of you did this?" I changed the picture to the 3 Skull Migos. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I'm in a Metallica tribute band. I actually just I'm really proud of it. We had a friend of ours come out and take some photos. I have a badass profile picture out on Facebook now from one of the excellent photos that he took. Unfortunately, his name escapes me because I only met him that night, but killer work. Manny, your boy, took great pictures. Anyways, the band is called Disposable Inc. We do a tribute to the Black Album and many more. Master Puppets, Death Magnetic, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, Ride the Lightning, all those albums. We do songs from them as well. I will be rounding out my time here in El Paso, knock on wood, if everything goes through with my job, and be heading back to the East Coast here next month. But yeah, it's been fun with this band, and hopefully we'll play one more show before I head out of here. So check us out on Facebook if you like Metallica. Give us a like. Disposable Inc. Absolutely. And do you got anything you want to plug, Mr. Foley?
Shane McMahon is the best wrestler in the world.
I saw that.
Oh, man. I actually didn't mind that entire show except for that. That was the one part I was like, what? But hey, I guess whatever.
If Nathan Peterman is the GOAT, then so is Shane McMahon. Actually, that's disrespectful to Shane McMahon. I'm sorry.
Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us. We'll be back next week to discuss No Game at All and probably just, I don't know, sit around BS. So hopefully you'll come hang out anyway.
It'll be the best episode we do this whole year, the bye week next year. It'll be unplanned, and we'll probably be like, man, this sucks. It'll be the best one yet. So you guys should be there.
For sure. So come back next week and stay classy, Minnesota.